So, um, there is one fundamental aspect to working with the extraterrestrials. They absolutely insist that humans have to understand their composite nature, that the physical body is not who they are. The physical body is just nothing. It's like some clothing that you're wearing, and that you're actually inside that. This planet is being run as a prison by a group of extraterrestrials who they oppose. I call the ones that we work with the good guys, the good ETs, and the bad ones. They have written agreements with the United States government, and apparently a few other governments, to allow them to operate here on Earth, basically operating a huge, absolutely huge human trafficking operation. They're not interested in the gold or the minerals or the plant life. They want the people. And they want the beings that are inside the people, which are what we call isbes, someone who is for the purpose of being. Other people call it soul, spirit, which is just stupid because they're trying to prove that they have a soul. And everybody in the universe says, what the heck are you talking about? You are the soul. Telling us you're your body is like telling us you're your shirt. And humans have been caught in this system. This is operating literally as a prison where people can't get out. When people die, they see the light. You've heard that story a zillion times. They get drawn to the light. It's like a really strong magnetic pull. And then when they get to the light, they're zapped with an electric bolt that's way more voltage than lightning. They're totally rattled. They lose their remote viewing capability, their telepathy capability. That's normal means of communication throughout the entire galaxy. And they lose that. And then an AI comes in. It's all computerized. An AI comes in and says, we've been talking about your case with the Council of Elders. You see the Council of Elders over there? Yeah, you're a very important person, the Council of Elders. And we think that, remember that argument you had with your son or daughter and your grandmother or whatever? We think there's a couple wrinkles in your personality you need to work on. Now, with no memory, you've been rattled, no telepathy, no remote viewing capability, you inevitably say, sounds good to me, and that cycles you back in the system. This is a psychological prison. It's not held with bars and cement and things like that in a physical prison that we have here. It's a psychological prison. So if the psychology is broken, the prison gets broken down. The good ETs, the ones that we work with, they consider everybody on Earth as their friends and relatives who were taken from them like zillions of years ago and placed here. This is also a repository for bad people. That's why we have so many crazy criminals that are pedophiles, that are perverts and things like that, violent people. Bad people get thrown here as well. But they also, because once you get in here, you can't get out, and it just keeps them out of the system. And so but you also have the vast majority of everybody are just people who were, thrown here. Maybe they didn't pay their taxes. Maybe they did a wink to somebody's daughter, and it was a powerful bureaucrat. Maybe they, for whatever reason, they were political opponents. They were running in the guerrilla groups. They were opposing the authoritarian groups. Whatever happened, they get put here. And it's a prison that sort of keeps everybody here. And because they don't have remote viewing or natural telepathic capabilities, they can't see out of it, and they don't know that. So the ETs that are up there, you've heard a zillion reports. Everybody who's interacted with an extraterrestrial, they all say the same thing. They speak telepathically. That's how they communicate. They do not use English. They do not move their mouth and have sounds come out and then listen to their ears. They all communicate perfectly well with telepathy. They worked with us for years. And again, they didn't want to put any focus on it. They didn't want it to be public because they had a lot of stuff to do with a lot of remote viewers. They had to teach us how to see them. They had to teach us how to be able to talk with them, how to be able to communicate, how to have board meetings, and we all pick up whatever they say. And then they had to develop the library. The advanced remote viewing procedures that were originally developed, they were originally started with the U.S. military, but the ones that we use now are like way different. They were the ones who guided us to develop those things.